Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. This is a WIDA ACCESS reading lesson, and this is Introduction to Reading. So below is a summary of WIDA ACCESS, and so in these lessons we'll look at detail at the reading section. The WIDA ACCESS test measures all 4 language domains that are important for effective communication: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. And the test features questions across all 5 WIDA ELD standards. Communicate for social and instructional purposes within the school setting. Communicate for academic success in the content area of language arts. Communicate for academic success in the content area of mathematics. Communicate for academic success in the content area of science. And communicate for academic success in the content area of social studies. So we're going to take a quick look at the reading section. You will need up to 60 minutes to complete this section of the test. And it's important to remember that the WIDA ACCESS is an adaptive test, so the number of questions and their level of difficulty will vary. All questions, answer options, and instructions are given on screen. There are no recorded instructions. You usually answer 2 or 3 questions on the same topic, and these questions get progressively more difficult. Before reading, you see an image that introduces the topic or context. You see the answer and answer options with the reading text, and the answer options could be images or text. So in this lesson, we practice answering some reading questions across all 5 ELD standards. There are 2 questions for each ELD standard. So communicate for social and instructional purposes within the school setting, in the content area of language arts, and in the content area of mathematics for in-class situations, and then homework situations in the content area of science and social studies. All right, Kelly is a new student in Mrs. Sangsai's class. You will read and answer questions about the following classroom rules. So what classroom rules does your school have, and how do your teachers make sure everyone knows the rules? So those are just some questions to think about before you start the reading. So take a moment to look at the question and answer choices. And there's a tip here to underline the key words in the question and answer choices. All right, now you can pause the video and read this on your own, and then answer the question. And then when you're ready, restart and we'll continue. So the correct answer is B. What does Mrs. Sangsai ask Kelly to do with her phone? B, put it away. And we can see here where that was directly mentioned in the reading. Now Mrs. Sangsai explains to Lily about the class and its routines. And you can think about what routines your class has. And if students finish their work early, what do they do? Again, pause the video, read the answer options carefully, and then see if you can express each of the answers options in your own words. Now pause the video and read the text and choose an answer to the question. And then you can restart when you're ready to continue. All right, so what can Kelly do when she finishes her work early? The correct answer is B. She can finish her social studies assignment. And Here's where that's shown in the text. You can work quietly on homework for another class. A language arts class is giving presentations about famous scientists, and they're talking about Jane Goodall. You can also think about these questions before reading. Do you ever give presentations at school? And if so, what are they about? What do you know about Jane Goodall? And do you know any other famous scientists? So take a moment to look at the question and the answer choices. Now pause the video and read the text, answer the question, and then restart when you're ready to continue. So the correct answer is B. Where did Jane Goodall want to go? Africa. And it shows dreamed of going to Africa. Dream of going is another way of saying want to go, meaning answer B is correct. She was born in England and America is not mentioned. Okay, Jada continues explaining about Jane Goodall and her work. So you can think about what do you know about chimpanzees and what can chimpanzees do? Now take a moment to look at the question and answer choices. And you may also want to practice expressing these in your own words to make sure that you understand. Now you can pause the video, read the text, and then answer the question. And then when you're ready to see the answer, you can restart the video to continue. Okay, so based on the text, what did Jane observe chimpanzees doing? The correct answer is A, using tools to help themselves. And here's where it states that in the text. She saw how they played, looked for food, and even used tools. A math class is learning about measuring shapes. You will read and answer questions about the perimeter and area of a shape. So think about what shapes do you know, and what does perimeter mean? Now take a moment to look at the question and answer choices. So which rectangle has a perimeter of 18 centimeters? You can pause the video while you think about that, answer the question, and then restart the video when you're ready to see the answer. Okay, you can read the text and answer the question. And the correct answer is A, the rectangle with a perimeter of 18 centimeters. And here's the explanation of how we arrived at that answer. And here in the reading, it tells you how to find the perimeter. Okay, Mrs. Lee continues explaining about shapes. Think about what does area mean and how is area different from perimeter. Now take a look at the question and the answer choices. Pause the video while you do that and then restart when you're ready to continue. Now pause the video while you read the text and then answer the question. And restart whenever you're ready to continue. So based on the text and the rectangles, which statement is true? The correct answer is D, because rectangle B and rectangle C have the same area. Here's the explanation. They have calculated the area of each of the rectangles, and we can see that B and C have the same area. So think about what we've covered in this lesson. Are these statements true or false? The reading test takes up to 30 minutes to complete. The reading test covers 2 to 3 WIDA ELD standards, and you only see the question and answer options after you finish reading. Okay, so number 1 is false. This section takes up to 60 minutes. Number 2 covers 2 to 3 WIDA ELD standards. That is true. And number 3 is false because you can see the question and answer options with the text. All right, now you can take a few moments to reflect on your experiences in this lesson. Which questions did you find easiest to answer and why? Which questions were difficult to answer and why? And what do you need to remember to do when you take the WIDA ACCESS reading test? And that brings us to the end of today's video. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.